All right, we got him. All right. Let's hear it. You're muted though.
All right.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, bro. What are we talking about?
All right, so you got to debate me. So I don't know what your argument is. I don't know what your debate is, but I'll hear it from you. I mean, my stance is pretty clear. I think Adesanya is the most overrated striker in UFC history, and I think that the okay, this guy.
Hold on, my bad. Let me just hold my phone. All right, go ahead.
UFC history, and I think that the 3-time champ shit is disingenuous. I think people are only hyping that up because they're trying to grasp at straws for a way to hype up someone failing to defend a belt and getting it back. Whereas you should just be saying he's a 7-time champ, because at the end of the day, like, how many title wins does he have? 3? 2? 8. Okay. Oh, you're counting the Gastelum one. He's counting the Gastelum one.
Hey, Robert Whittaker. It wasn't Izzy's fault that Robert Whittaker was hurt. But let me just stop you right there, because you said something about he's the most overrated striker. What kind of delusion is that? Where does that stem from? The most overrated striker, the guy who knocked out Robert Whittaker, Paulo Costa riding his undefeated win streak in the UFC, then Alex Pereira, one of the best kickboxers of all time. Where's this narrative coming from that he's an overrated striker? He's the best striker to touch the sport. He's beating all the best strikers in the class by knockout. What are you talking about?
Definitely not. Okay, well, hold on. So he's the best striker to ever touch the sport. Yep. Then explain him getting outstruck like 4 or 5 times.
Okay, well,
because hold on. I'd rather my favorite fighter is Volk. Volk is one of my favorite fighters. Volkanovski, even against Topuria, when he loses, he's slowly, they're having a close battle, but Volk's never getting outstruck. Volk's never getting shut down via the striking.
Did you watch the second Holloway fight? You thought he was?
Yeah, he won the last 3 rounds.
But
he was down 2 rounds. He was down 2 rounds. He came in the clutch.
Okay, but listen, we're talking about striking. We're talking about striking. You thought his striking was better because last I remembered, he had to mix in takedowns to even get anything going for that fight to make it.
That's melatonin gate. Volk had he got woken up by USADA in the middle of the night.
This guy's funny, bro. Yo,
literally woken up in the middle of the night.
Bro, you're glazed,
woken up in the middle of the night by USADA. His chin was iffy that night. But hold on. Let me just explain this. Izzy is objectively not the best striker in the sport. Wow. He's never been, because he got outstruck by Jan Blachowicz, shut down rounds 1, rounds 2, rounds 3. Izzy got outstruck by Alex Pereira in the first fight. He got outboxed by Robert Whittaker with a reach advantage in their second fight. And he got knocked the fuck out by Alex Pereira. You're saying things that
aren't true. You're lying. In the first fight, he was embarrassing Pereira on the feet and on the ground.
No, that's a lazy take. That's a lazy take.
He only won the second round. What other fight? What round?
No, I agree with you. I agree that he only won the second round. But when you say outstruck, let's talk about that.
Let's talk.
The third round, Izzy won with the grappling, but he was getting outstruck in the beginning of the round.
What about rounds 1 and rounds 4 for that?
Round 1, it was close, and Izzy won that with the big moment. Round 4, Izzy outstruck him. I'm with you. So those 2 rounds are good. So
what is this misconception that he's outstriking Izzy? You're making stuff
up. Let me prove my point. So Izzy outstruck him in round 1 and round 4. What happened in round 2? Alex won. Round 3, Alex outstruck him until the grappling. Round 5, it was so dominant.
Hold on.
It was so dominant.
Where did that happen?
Mark Goddard had to step in to save him.
Where did that happen in round 3? He outstruck him. You're making up stuff. First of all, Pereira was the one who initiated.
Before they went to the ground.
Listen, Izzy was piecing him up. Pereira initiated the striking, got reversed because he's a lazy wrestler and he sucks at wrestling. He has no balance. So Izzy reversed him, controlled him. Alex Pereira shot for it first and got embarrassed.
Yeah, but the battle between Izzy and Pereira is never about the ground game. I mean, that's Izzy's a better, well-rounded mixed martial artist in that round.
Yeah, he is.
That's MMA. But when it comes to the pure striking, Adesanya was getting outstruck in the beginning of that round.
He wasn't.
He was, though. He literally was. You can literally tally up the strikes. He was literally getting outstruck in the beginning of that round.
And it's funny you're talking about striking this, because even if you go back to kickboxing, every single kickboxing fight, Izzy was up on points. He was outlanding him. What won him the fights? The first fight was a robbery. You both know it. We both know it, but you're not going to admit it, and I understand that. But you can say whatever you want.
It don't even matter to me.
Okay, and then the second kickboxing fight, he was piecing him up until the knockout. He had a standing 8 count. So you're trying to paint the narrative that he's a better striker. Just say Alex Pereira has more power and Izzy's the better striker, then I'll agree with you. There's difference in that.
Let me ask you a question. Hold on. Let me ask you a question.
He won one round on Izzy on the scorecard in the UFC, and it was round 2 of UFC 281. Other than that, he won that round and knocked him out.
What happened in round 5?
That's it. That's what I'm saying.
What happened in round 5?
They fought 7 rounds. How many UFC? How much he win? 2. This guy's nothing, bro. He's just powerful.
What happened in round 5?
He just has hand power. Skill versus
hand power.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me break down round 5.
Break it down,
Adesanya threw a kick. It got checked, and he fell over himself. Alex Pereira backed him down up against the fence and beat the fuck out of him. Yes, it was a bit of an early stoppage, but the difference in striking in that round was so utterly dominant. Alex Pereira had like a 20-second moment where he was just teeing off on him up against the fence, checking his kicks, bulldozing him the whole round. You're talking about rounds 1? You're talking about rounds freaking 4? Bro, what about round 5 where it was such an outclassing that the ref had to step in? You're saying that, hold on. You're saying that was one big punch? It was an early stoppage. That means it couldn't have been one big punch. That was a whole freaking army of punches that Izzy couldn't even fucking deal with.
You're misunderstanding my narrative that I was playing. I said Izzy's the more skilled striker, and Alex Pereira is the more powerful striker. And I'm using this round because they fought 13 rounds total. Izzy has won 8. In the UFC, they fought 7. Izzy has won 2. Pereira has won 2. So if you look at the fights and you're actually watching from a non-biased point of view, you know Izzy's a better striker than him. But what Alex Pereira has that Izzy seems to have been lacking until the last fight was the power advantage. And Izzy doesn't have a bad chin necessarily, but he did get caught. I'm not saying it was one punch, but Alex Pereira has power indefinitely. You can see it in multiple of his fights. He uses power to win fights. Even against Yuri Prochazka, he was down in the scorecard. Something he has is an equalizer, and it's hard for people to keep up with. But the only person who gave him competitive fights on the feet is Israel Adesanya because he's the superior striker. But Alex Pereira has a power advantage, and I'll give you that. I'll give you to that. But you're not proving to me that he's a better striker in any way other than saying he had this good round where he caught him with a left hook and he tripped over his legs. And bro, I don't care.
Tripped over his legs. Striker. He got his leg kick checked. He fell because of the pain.
Bro, no, if you look at the footage, you'll see his left leg wrap over his right ankle, and then he tripped backwards and fell. And that's what started the whole thing.
Hold on. Let me just say this. The only one to have a competitive fight with Pereira on the feet. What about Jan Blachowicz, the guy that literally beat Izzy? Let's remember that Jan Blachowicz outstruck Adesanya. It's not the wrestling. He literally outstruck Adesanya, made him miss, made him look like a fool. Jan Blachowicz with his big, ugly low kicks, with that old man style. The hunchback in Notre Dame made that flashy striker, your favorite fighter, swing and miss all night. Okay? He had a close fight with Alex Pereira too. So right off the bat, he's not the only one to give Pereira a competitive fight on the feet. Alex Pereira, you can talk about power advantage all you want. That is true. I agree with that. That is a part of his skill set.
Thank you.
He outstruck Izzy in the 5th round of their first fight. That is a round. No, we're not just gonna say 5th round doesn't count. It was a big, nasty, ugly. It was a big, nasty, ugly punch. It was a stupid punch from Pereira. No, it was a freaking skillful dismantling. Round 2. No, I'm not. Round 2, he outstruck Izzy. So even according to you, where we shouldn't count the 3rd round striking, even though Pereira outstruck him in the 3rd before the grappling, there are only 2-2 in that fight.
Oh my!
Izzy round 1, Izzy round 4, Pereira round 2, Pereira round 5. I'm giving Pereira the win because round 5 was way more dominant than the other rounds.
Okay, this is the thing, Lucas. You like to say opinions and base them off of facts. You said I'm giving it 2-2. I don't really care what you give. It wasn't 2-2 going to that 5th. It was 3-1 Izzy, and you could cope with
3-1 because Izzy was mixing in the grappling. It's more nuanced than just striking. They weren't just in a kickboxing battle.
Stop bringing it up. I countered you. You said Izzy initiated the grappling. No, Alex Pereira didn't got reversed. You got countered. You got cooked. Moving on to the next point about Jan Blachowicz, the guy who weighed when Israel Adesanya weighs 199 pounds going into a light.
Oh, that's such BS. And then Izzy freaking cut weight on purpose.
Bro, stop
Izzy cut weight on purpose to make it him seem like he was in more of a freaking David and Goliath matchup.
Stop. You sound like every other just goofball, bro. He didn't do it on purpose. Like, stop trying to make with these conspiracy theories in your head. They're not
Adesanya walks around at like over 215 pounds in the offseason, bro.
Bro, you don't know Izzy personally. Has he told you this? I've seen so many different things.
This guy's acting like he knows Adesanya personally.
Look at you, bro.
Because he has a freaking bobblehead of Izzy.
All right, buddy. So
hold on.
No, let me cook you.
Wait, 1 second.
You know
let me just shut that. Let me just cook you real quick. Adesanya posted ESPN MMA and all the big MMA outlets before the Pereira 1 fight because everyone was talking about how big Pereira was.
I know what you're talking about.
They posted Adesanya's weight. The dude was like 223 pounds.
Okay,
he walks around in the high 200s or low 200s. Yes, he's not 199, dude. He freaking he was trying to prove a point.
Listen, brother, you're not listening. Some people walk around heavy. People like Max Holloway walk around very heavy. They could easily make 155 in your opinion. But when they're in fight shape in their fight camp, their body is going to react differently than you think. That's why.
Then how come Adesanya always weighs in at like 204? How come? Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. Let me just say this. So you're telling me Jan Blachowicz made Adesanya miss punches as the lighter man with the faster speed because he was heavier than him? You're telling me Jan Blachowicz checked Adesanya's leg kicks and shut his leg kick game down because he was heavier? The grappling, I'll give it to you. I'll give you that the grappling definitely was affected by the weight of Blachowicz. The first 3 rounds, Jan Blachowicz with his simple striking shut him down. You cannot have so many examples of Adesanya getting outstruck, having close battles.
People like you, Lucas, you like to play both sides. Like when it's about Islam, if
How
it's
am I
like
playing
Islam,
both?
let me talk. If it's about like someone like Islam or Volk or Islam or Dustin, it's all about the takedown threat is this, the takedown threat is that. Not once have you mentioned takedown threat. Why? Is that a coincidence, or are you just not using your knowledge all of a sudden? You know the takedown threat was a thing. You know the weight discrepancy was a thing.
Takedown threat. People were hardly talking about the threat of the takedown going into that fight. Jan Blachowicz was coming off of Jan Blachowicz was coming off of 3 KOs in a row. Dominic Reyes, Luke Rockhold. He was coming off of a bunch of KOs. Corey Anderson. People were talking about that fight as Izzy's either going to outclass him or Jan Blachowicz is going to knock him out with a big ugly swing.
That was not the narrative. Why are you making?
Yes, it was. That was the narrative going into that fight. That was the narrative.
They knew you were going to go into
Jan Blachowicz
Look how you playing to the tune. Look how you're playing.
No, I'm not playing to the fucking tune.
You're picking sides, Lucas.
No, Jan Blachowicz was a knockout guy going into that fight. He was KOing people.
Bro, Jan Blachowicz has always been the type to mix in his wrestling with every single fight. What are you talking about? Why are you trying to make it like
Jan Blachowicz didn't shoot a takedown until like midway through the 3rd round. It got stuffed.
Bro, you're lying. That's not even true.
Yes, he did. He didn't even shoot a takedown in the 1st round. He didn't shoot a takedown in the 2nd round. Okay, fuck the threat of the takedown.
The 2nd round, and that was gonna be 1st round.
Fuck the threat of the takedown. Jan Blachowicz shut his ass down and made him look like light work on the feet.
Yeah, because threat of the takedown. He barely.
You can say threat of the takedown all you want. He still made him miss and still outclassed him with freaking nice, crispy leg kick defense.
You're bringing up, like I said, a guy who was severely underweighted, undersized for that weight.
Okay, let's talk about Cannonier. Cannonier gave Izzy a freaking extremely close fight, but I've seen people freaking dominate Cannonier.
Are you trolling? Are you trolling right now?
It was 48-47. It was a stink fest. It was one of the worst fights I've ever seen. Adesanya got outstruck by Robert Whittaker. Let's talk about the Strickland fight. Adesanya couldn't graze Sean Strickland. All right? I've seen Alex Pereira chin him easily. I've seen DDP freaking light him up in the later rounds. Adesanya is a great striker. He's never even been close to the best. He's had too many moments where it's not been dominant. Okay, so if you're the best striker in the world, you need to be schooling Jared Cannonier. You need to be schooling Marvin Vettori when Jared Cannonier setting a strike record on him.
45 Marvin Vettori. What are you talking about? What are you even saying right now?
He 50-45 them, and I fell asleep in the 4th round.
Oh, look at you. Oh, now you fell asleep and didn't see it. He 50-45 them, bro. Everyone is saying he's destroying them.
50-45s can be close. A 10-9 round can be close. That just means it's 5-10-9.
Oh, you're coping so...
I'm not coping at all. No. That was a good performance. But Whittaker was more dominant. Cannonier was more dominant. When I'm thinking about the best striker in the sport...
You're bringing that Whittaker fight. He went 4 for 10 in takedowns and got outstruck in every single round. How did he win that fight? Explain.
Which one? The second one?
The second one that you're saying was a robbery. How did he win if he got outstruck every single round and went 4 out of 10 in takedowns?
Well, first off, I think that saying he got outstruck in every single round, you're looking at the stats, and I'm just going to say this.
What stats?
We're not even going to talk. Hold on. I've literally reviewed stats after UFC fights, and they've been all out of whack. And it's not even when I'm being biased, when I want to be biased. There have been times where the fighter that I wanted to win was given, the strike advantage in the stats, and it's actually totally wrong. The stats are wrong.
God.
The stats aren't necessarily the only thing you can go off of.
Here, bro. Like, bro, listen, Lucas.
He got outstruck.
Lucas, you love to go off opinion and what you think in your head. You hate facts because facts is what destroys you. And I'm destroying you with facts.
Are you bringing up? The stats? Stats are not facts. The stats, they fuck up the stats.
What are facts for you in a UFC fight? What Lucas Tracy thinks? Or is it actually facts?
The stats, the facts for me are watching the fight and tallying up exactly what's happening, seeing it with my own eyes.
What Lucas Tracy thinks, okay. That's all you have to say.
But the judges and the freaking stats, the judges can get it wrong. Wait, hold on. Let me just say this. Are you denying that there aren't robberies in MMA? Like, the judges can get it wrong.
Of course I know the robberies, but you're saying a fight where he clearly beat the brakes out of him, dropped him in the 1st round, made him look goofy, went 4 for 10 in takedowns, stuffed over half his takedowns is a robbery because you're coping. Just say you're coping and move on, brother. We can do this. Just say I'm Lucas Tracy and I'm coping. Just say it, brother. Say it. Be proud. Be a proud coach. Do it, brother. Say it.
No, because I've watched the fight. I watched it this week. Robert Whittaker, and I'll tell you why he won that fight. I'll tell you why he won.
Let it go.
I'll tell you why he won. Yes, Izzy won the 1st round and he dropped him badly. I will give you that, and he definitely won that round. Round 2, round 4, round 5. Adesanya This is the issue with Izzy. Whitaker was doing well. He was landing shots to the head. He was popping Adesanya's head back with the jabs, with the lead hooks. He was outboxing him. Adesanya was doing fuck all in those rounds. That's why he lost those fights. Adesanya didn't do enough. You can't just say, well, Whitaker only landed a couple shots. I guess we got to give it to Izzy. What did Izzy do? Tell me what Izzy did in the second round, the third, the fourth, and the fifth to win. And don't just say the stats, because the stats are wrong.
I'm not checking those. I don't care about. I didn't even know that. I just know because I watched that fight many times, and people say it's a.
So what did Izzy do? What did Izzy do?
Low kick, body kick, feinting into the jabs.
Feinting? This motherfucker bringing up feints.
I mean, it had Robert Whitaker like this on the cage every single feint.
That's not a strike. You can't count that as a strike.
Off his feint, bro.
You can't count that as a strike. Adesanya didn't do enough in those rounds. He got outstruck. He got outboxed. He got outdamaged.
Mindset? Just based on your mindset, buddy. You know you're coping.
He got outstruck.
Right, you're cope so bad.
No, you're trying to convince yourself that you're right, but I've watched that fight touch the sport.
Yeah.
Even if you were going to make an argument that he's like top 5 best strikers in the sport, let me just annihilate that argument real quick.
You can't.
Adesanya, when he hasn't knocked someone out in the first 2 rounds, when Adesanya hasn't KO'd anyone, he has never in his entire career, outside of maybe one fight when he was a contender, he has never in his entire career destroyed someone over the course of 5 rounds and styled on them over the course of 5 rounds and made it look dominant. Brad Tavares? Yeah, that's one fight, and he didn't even dominate him that badly. That was actually sort of... Now, hold on. Brad Tavares was sort of in there. Volkanovski. Hold on. Volkanovski has annihilated people in 5-rounders. Max Holloway has annihilated people in 5-rounders. Wonderboy Thompson has annihilated people in 5-rounders.
Ooh.
I consider the best strikers to be the people that don't need a knockout to make it look spectacular.
Okay.
When Adesanya doesn't get a KO, he either stinks it up to a decision where people are falling to sleep, or he loses.
Okay.
Or he's been outstruck by Jan Blachowicz, or he loses. You cannot be the best striker in the sport if you are incapable of putting on a dominant masterclass striking showcase in a decision.
Okay, so now
there are too many fighters that have. There are too many fighters that have. I've seen Max Holloway style on people for 5 rounds. Izzy's never done that.
Okay.
Because guess what? When Izzy has had a 50-45, we've fallen asleep.
You speak for yourself. But anyways, let me just counter everything you just said because I like to cook you, bro. First of all, you try to I brought up Brad Tavares and you're like, oh, but I don't like that fact because you're right and you cooked me. You counted it. You can't do that. But let's talk about the fact that.
And also, Max is styling on strikers. Izzy's styling on Marvin Bum Vittori.
Because you know I'm about to cook you, bro.
I just shut down the whole argument.
Lucas,
I mean,
you haven't because I haven't said my piece. Lucas,
okay.
To beat the best, you got to beat the best strikers. I don't care. You're naming Max Holloway. Yeah, great performances against Korean Zombie and some just mediocre strikers. The thing about
he's at featherweight. Who is Adesanya beat by decision and made it look impressive against?
Bro,
Marvin Vittori?
Let me say my point before you even try to talk. The thing about this is when you look at middleweights, if I told you to name the best strikers in middleweight history since 2015, you're going to name all the strikers that Izzy has put out on his feet and destroyed. You look at Robert Whitaker before that fight.
Who was 1-1 with Adesanya. Yep. Who is at a close fight with. That just proved my point. When Izzy doesn't finish them, he's incapable of having a masterclass. Hold on. Izzy doesn't finish Whitaker. It goes 5 rounds. It's a slow fight, and it's an arguable robbery. Volk doesn't finish Max. It's a 50-45 dominant masterclass. Keep going,
That's not true. You didn't watch the second Max fight then. But anyways, moving on to my point. Every time he's went against a good middleweight, he's finished them. These are good strikers. You could argue that, I don't think finishing a good striker is impressive, but I'm going to counter that by saying I think piecing up a striker from round 1 to the round you finish him is the best way to have a striking performance. If you look at Paulo Costa, look at the fight he just had with Yoel Romero before that fight compared to the fight that Izzy had with Romero, everyone was saying Paulo Costa's going to run through him and they were trying to cope he's going to get destroyed. What happened in that fight? Chewed up his leg, waited for him to get impatient, came and he destroyed him. What happened with Robert Whitaker?
That was a great performance against Paulo Costa. Paulo ain't even that good. But keep going.
Good at striking. Robert Whitaker this, Robert Whitaker that. He went in every single time he blitzed. He was ate by a counter check hook. Every time. Let's talk about Alex Pereira. He has his number.
Let's just forget about the rematch.
It's 3-0. Oh, it's 3-0. Oh my goodness. Alex Pereira's the guy. He's so good. Izzy beat him in the first round, knocked him out in the second. You can say what you want. You can cope with how you want. But you know the truth of the situation.
Wait, did this guy just say beat him the first time, knocked him out the second? He lost the first fight. He lost.
You are
lost the first fight.
You are coping, Lucas. You know you're coping because you know I'm right. And you know it hurts you that he's going to do it. The next thing to your boy DDP, he's going to embarrass that sloppy blitzing striker. He has a sloppy blitzing style. What happened when Izzy went against a sloppy blitzer? Ask Robert Whitaker. He went to sleep. DDP is next, and after he beats
Whitaker
him,
is a chinny fighter. Whitaker's chinny as fuck. He's not durable.
Yeah. And you're gonna say
Dricus Duplessis is about to beat Izzy with his Captain Underpants blitz.
I'm telling you. Darren Till looking so shitty was beating the brakes out of your boy DDP, the best striker.
Darren Till is a better offensive striker than Adesanya. He's way better.
Okay, so I know
Darren Till can beat people up offensively. Adesanya offensively on the feet is a jab and a low kick.
Who's the best striker Darren Till beat?
Best striker Darren Till beat?
Crickets.
Wonderboy Thompson.
Crickets.
Wonderboy Thompson.
Nate, is that the only one you can name? Because I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna look.
Is that the Wonderboy Thompson's one of the best strikers in UFC history. Wonderboy Thompson's way better than Adesanya. He knocked out Robert Whitaker too.
So who's the better striker, Alex Pereira or Wonderboy Thompson?
Who's a better striker? I would say it's close. I don't know. It's hard to choose. Maybe Wonderboy.
That's open, bro. You know what?
But here's the thing about Wonderboy. Wonderboy has embarrassed good strikers like Jorge Masvidal, Vicente Luque, Kevin Holland. Like Wonderboy has consistently embarrassed people. Jeff Neal. Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Name me one 5-round masterclass dominant decision from Adesanya on the feet.
Vettori.
And so you're telling me the Vettori and Adesanya fight is known as one of the best performances ever? You said
name a dominant performance. Now you're saying name a.
It was not dominant. Okay, it was a clear fight. It was a clear decision. It was a good win for Adesanya. It was not a dominant fight.
Kevin Gastelum versus Izzy, not fight of the year. You want to say name a good performance?
No, that's a great one, but that's not dominant. That's a war. I love that fight. That's a great one. But it's not a dominant.
When the 5th round started. Be honest. Did you watch the 5th round? You closed your eyes.
I've seen Jared Cannonier set a striking record on the face of Marvin Vettori. I've seen Robert Whitaker have Marvin Vettori on his knees in the 3rd round, not knowing where the fuck he's at.
I just said Kelvin Gastelum.
But hold on. Every single fighter that Izzy has beat by decision in like one of these little freaking clear fights, those guys have whooped up the guys that he's beating way better. Robert Whitaker did it way better. Jared Cannonier did it way better.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about the fighters he's knocked out like Alex Pereira. Who is beating Alex Pereira in the UFC?
Alex Pereira beat Izzy. Hold on. Alex Pereira beat Izzy. Every single guy you could say, all the best fighters that Izzy has beat, Pereira, Whitaker, which are great wins, he's lost to too. 1-1. That's like at the end of the day, Adesanya's never been a dominant champ. He's never been the best striker in the UFC. He's had too many stinky fights.
Sorry, you, Lucas.
He's never been the best.
I can't believe you're actually this delusional. I always want to see you're
this delusional.
You're crazy, brother. You're crazy.
This delusional. Bro,
you saying Robert Whitaker fight counts as a win on the resume? No, it does. Like, if that's not a win for Whitaker, you lost it.
Hold on. Judges can get fights wrong. If one judge has a fight 48-47, the other has a 50-45, that already means judges can't get it right. Judges don't agree with each other sometimes.
You're coping so bad it hurts.
Not coping.
Like,
not coping.
Real?
Adesanya didn't do enough. Sorry, he didn't win the Whitaker fight.
He didn't do enough in your mind, but everyone else is mad.
That's not even the point of the argument. That's not even the point of the argument. You can't be the best striker in the UFC if you're getting outstruck by Jan Blachowicz, Alex Pereira, Robert Whitaker. You're having a stinky fight with Jared Cannonier, and you're having a stinky fight with Marvin Vettori. You can't be the best striker.
So you just said you can't be the best striker if you get outstruck by.
He's not been dominant enough. Izzy's not been dominant enough. He's lost too many times. He's lost too many times against good strikers.
He lost 3 times in his career. What are you talking about? 2 times.
Yeah, and got outstruck. He got outstruck by Sean Strickland, shut down easily. He got shut down by Jan Blachowicz, and then he got shut down by Alex Pereira in the first fight.
Didn't get shut down.
It was a competitive fight. It was a competitive fight. It was a competitive fight until the 5th round, in which
you did not watch that fight. You did not watch that fight, bro. There's no way you watched it.
I remember every single freaking millisecond of that fight, dude.
I do. I watched that fight.
Nah, dude.
I watched that fight more than you.
Okay, but hold on. I understand that you're an Adesanya fan. I get it. And I'm an Adesanya fan too. He's one of my favorite fighters. But
yo, be quiet, bro. I see your you hate bro. Listen, bro. This is the thing with you, bro. You just don't like Adesanya so much that you start to give his opponents credit for things that just make 0 sense. It's okay.
No, I'll give Adesanya credit. I'll give Adesanya credit. I think that he did well in the Alex Pereira fights. He did well in the Pereira fights.
He destroyed Alex Pereira until Alex Pereira had the power advantage. That's it. That's what happened.
But wait, how is that possible when he got outstruck in the 2nd round? The 1st round was competitive too. The 3rd round, he got outstruck, and then he did. I'm giving him credit. He out MMA'd Alex Pereira in the 3rd round. And the 4th round was Izzy's. I'll give him credit. And the 5th round was so dominant. It was such a masterclass from Pereira that the ref had to step in and save him. It was a pretty competitive fight. It was back and forth.
1-3-4.
I'm not coping. It's just a fact.
1-3-4, 281. Every kickboxing fight, Izzy was winning. Every single.
That's kickboxing. I don't even care about kickboxing.
Yeah,
I'm an MMA guy.
I know. Fair enough. Okay, so I'm just saying that to say this: 7 rounds in the UFC. Pereira won 2. Do the math on that, and then see who's a better striker. That's all I'm gonna say. And I understand Pereira's a great, powerful striker, but other than that power, if he didn't have that power, he would never have beat Izzy a single time in his life. And you know this as much as I do. Just saying. So just know who the better skilled fighter is, know who the most skilled striker is, and know who the strongest striker is, and then we could agree there. And you know. It's
okay.
true.
Well, what? Okay. Well, okay. So you're saying know who the most skilled fighter is. One guy got shut down by Sean Strickland and schooled.
Oh my God.
The other guy beat Sean Strickland by dominant KO. One guy got shut down by Jan Blachowicz and schooled. The other guy outstruck Jan Blachowicz.
But Jan Blachowicz, I'll be real.
So Izzy's so much better. Izzy's so much better than the guy that beat the people that he couldn't come close to outstriking.
Okay, first, why are you acting like Izzy's not greater than this guy all time? The guy with 1 title defense. Stop dick riding, bro.
Adesanya's not even top 10. He's not a top 10 fighter.
Oh my God, this guy is the biggest. Yo, this guy's not real, dude. Yo, you're not real, bro. All right,
no, dude, I'm telling you, you can't have that many losses.
Yo, you're not real. There's no way you're a real person. All right, who's better? Okay, who's better, Pereira or Izzy? Let me just hear this so I can just cook you so bad and make you regret it.
Okay, so I'll give you an answer. Pereira's 1-1 with Izzy. So that's
who's greater
clean
all
slate.
time? I don't care.
Okay, no, I'm gonna explain it. They're 1-1. Alex Pereira has a better ratio of wins to losses than Adesanya, and he beat Sean Strickland, and he beat Jan Blachowicz, who Adesanya lost to, and Alex Pereira became a double champ and defended the second belt when Adesanya couldn't do that. Also, Alex Pereira only has 1 loss in his entire UFC career. Adesanya has 4.
To his daddy. He has 3, but you just don't know. You don't understand.
Wait, to his daddy. Bro, Pereira beat Adesanya, if you don't remember, at UFC 281. He literally beat him. They're 1-1. Hold on. When it just comes to the rivalry between Izzy and Pereira, they're 1-1. I'm not saying Pereira pulled ahead, Izzy pulled ahead, but Pereira did beat the guys that Izzy couldn't.
Let me show you why Israel Adesanya is greater. I'm glad you said all those pointless points that mean nothing to me because you're trying to point out other fights and play MMA math. If he beat him and he beat him, it means he's better than him all the time because I don't give a shit about any of that you just said. But what I will tell you, that's a fact. What is 8 title wins? What's a 2-time middleweight champion? What's
title wins are not everything when some of them are robberies.
In the middleweight division. What's that to with someone with 5 title defenses compared to someone with 1? Stop trying to play this narrative.
It's not all title wins. It's not all title wins. Alex Pereira.
It has a lot to do with it. In the recent, let's not forget
Alex Pereira beat Jan Blachowicz without a title win on the line. Alex Pereira beat Sean Strickland without a title win on the line. Those are amazing wins that don't have to be title wins.
Exactly. I don't.
It's not all about title wins.
It's not all about title wins. Izzy had the better career, period. Who had the longer win streak? Who had the more title defenses? Who had all these other stuff? All you're bringing up is he beat the guy Izzy lost to, so he's better. That's the most absurd casual mind thing I ever heard in my life. Like, don't admit you're a casual right now in front of all your people, bro. Don't do this. Like,
wait, what was the take that was casual? What was the take that was casual?
You said he's better than Adesanya all time because he beat people Adesanya lost to. What kind of
That's not the only reason. I'm saying ratio of wins to losses. Alex Pereira's UFC record is like what, 8-1?
Okay, so want to talk about
but those wins are extremely high quality, and also he has a win over Adesanya.
Who was Alex Pereira's first win in the UFC?
His first win was over Andreas Michailidis.
Okay, so who is that?
He's a bum.
Okay, my point. And then who he fight after?
And who is same with every UFC fighter's first win for the most part.
About it? Who was Israel Adesanya's first win? Rob Wilkinson. Do you know what
Rob Wilkinson? PFL champ. Rob Wilkinson's fucking can, dude. He's a can.
And after he's going to Victory, who's still in the top middleweight right now, to Tavares, who's still a gatekeeper in the division today. We can talk about this. We went Derek Brunson, who had a decent fight against your boy, who plays all the time, DDP.
Dude, I'm not denying Adesanya doesn't have great wins. I'm not denying Izzy doesn't have great wins. He's just not better than Pereira all time. Pereira's objectively better because he has less losses. He has a better ratio.
He was fast-tracked with the easy schedule. I just told you just named his resume. The first 2 opponents.
He was fast-tracked and then proved that he was good enough to be fast-tracked after.
Just know, Khamzat was put in the same position, 3 fights in that title fight. After Ikram beats Whitaker, he should get a title fight too. Just because they could give him an Alex Pereira treatment, why not? It doesn't make sense. All I'm saying is, if we're gonna give
you're happy. You should be happy that they gave him that treatment because Adesanya was able to knock him out. That's a good win for Adesanya.
It's not about me being happy. My thing is, if you have 3 fights in a title fight, then you're gonna have a lot of accolades to your name. If you're a decent fighter, Khamzat would do the same thing. Shaka would do the same thing. But give any good fighter 3 fights in a title fight and watch how good they become. Just thank Izzy that he made your boy.
If you gave Marvin Vettori 3 fights in a title fight, he'd get absolutely steamrolled against Dricus du Plessis. You're saying if you give anyone, dude, try giving like the average UFC fighter 3 wins.
Give any good fighter.
And hold on. Wait, you're forgetting. How did Pereira get the title fight? He beat who? Sean Strickland, who at the time wasn't that great. But guess what? The wins can age well. A win can age really well or it can age poorly. That win
you're basing
aged
off
well.
of that win. Listen to my point. You're basing off of that win of Sean Strickland at the time, who was Sean Strickland is not even better than Jared King. Like, we're acting like Sean Strickland is some kind of crazy fight. The truth about Sean Strickland is the most overrated fighter on the planet right now because he beat a stylistic mismatch in Israel Adesanya. Someone who's on the back foot. When have you ever seen someone beat Sean Strickland on the back foot? You never have, because it never happened. Amavov lost, Izzy lost. All these bums with the back foot, they lose. But anyone with the front foot, Kamaru Usman, Santiago, EDS, Jared Cannonier, DDP, if you're winning on the front foot, you beat Sean Strickland. So yes, a stylistic mismatch made some people think Sean Strickland was the GOAT, but he's not. He's not that great.
I agree that Strickland's not the GOAT, but I'm just saying it is a good win. Like, Pereira beat him.
Mid-win at the time, especially mid-win.
But hold on. But you're saying at the time. For example, losses can age well or they can age poorly. For example,
I agree.
For example, Dominic Cruz Cody Garbrandt beating Dominic Cruz at the time was like, oh, it's an amazing win. And, no shame for Dominic Cruz to lose to this phenom. Looking back, Dominic Cruz hasn't done shit. I mean, Cody Garbrandt hasn't done anything. So losing to a guy like Cody Garbrandt, it's a bad look now. Cody Garbrandt has a horrible resume. It's a bad look. So my point is, people talk about, hold on. People talk about Sean Strickland and Alex Pereira, and they'll say things like Alex Pereira had a great win over Sean Strickland, who then went to become a champ. John Jones beats Glover Teixeira. At the time, it was a good win. Now, since Glover Teixeira wins a belt, it's an even better win. Wins can age well, they can age poorly.
Yes,
Volkanovski beats Max Holloway in the trilogy. That win was great at the time. It's even better now since Holloway is continuing to. So that's my point.
Yeah,
and hold on. Guess what? For your own sake, you rate Adesanya so highly. I mean, the fact that he beat Pereira and Pereira is doing all these great things, that makes Izzy's win even better.
Yeah. It's a misconception that I don't like Alex Pereira. He's one of my favorite fighters of all time. I love him. His fan base is delusional.
He loves Alex Pereira. I don't buy
it. Bro,
it.
you can look at, be quiet, bro. You can look
at Pereira scarred this man for life.
You glaze. The glaze you say, oh, Alex Pereira is great all time because he beat people, but all this glaze, it just doesn't make sense. What is GOAT? Like, your GOAT list is probably just messed up. Like, you probably just
my GOAT list is actually objectively like really well thought out. I'll tell you my top five.
Go ahead.
My top five. I have Jones. I have GSP. I have Volkanovski. I have Mighty Mouse, and I have Jose Aldo. I'll put Aldo at my 5 spot.
When you said Volkanovski,
Volk is at my 3 spot. Yeah.
Okay, well, Volk's wait.
Yeah, don't even get me started on Volk. You guys don't want to get me started on Volk because I have an argument. If you think if I shut you down in the Adesanya argument, you don't want to get started on Volk.
Bro, you didn't do shit in the Adesanya argument. All you said is Alex Pereira beat people. Adesanya beat, so he's better. I don't care about that weak ass argument. That did nothing for you at all. Lucas, I'll be real. You're good at saying Lucas Tracy opinions and running with your opinions, but you're not good at saying any factual evidence like I am. I'm bringing up facts and resume. You're bringing up
but your facts are also concerned based on like what's on paper. But sometimes judges can get fights wrong.
I'm not only basing myself on judges. I base it off a 12-fight win streak, 2-time middleweight champion, 8 title wins, 5
a title win is not the end all be all. Who was it against?
I didn't
Guess
say
what?
It was.
Guess what? Hold on.
You ignored everything else I said. I just said 12. I said 12-fight win streak in middleweight. I said 2-time middleweight champion. I brought up the 8 title wins. I brought up the resume he had. Go from Kelvin Gastelum to Robert Whittaker, who was an undisputed champion at the time when they unified it. Bringing up the Alex Pereira knockout. Bringing up the Paulo Costa knockout at the time. All these great stuff, and you're saying, yeah, but the title championship fights don't mean anything. Who cares about championship fights? Everyone does, bro. Everyone
championship fights are good, but the point that I'm making when I say they're not everything is, for example, again, when Alex Pereira beats Jan Blachowicz, it's not for a belt, but it's still a really good win. It's still as good as someone. It's better. Oh. Hold on. No. It is better than someone getting a title defense against someone like Marvin Vettori or some shit like that.
No, it's
and
not.
you know it.
No, it's not.
What?
At the time,
Whoa! At the time, Vettori beat Kevin Holland and only got a title fight because Robert Whittaker didn't want to fight injured. Wait. You're telling me, hold on.
Yo, you're funny.
Hold on. You're telling me that, for example, you're telling me that Volkanovski beating Jose Aldo when it wasn't for a title is not better than Max Holloway beating Frankie Edgar?
Yeah. Volkanovski being that washed Jose Aldo who lost to everyone.
Washed Aldo that was on a 2-fight win streak and after that went on to kill people at bantamweight.
Oh my God, 2-fight is crazy. Bro, he lost every time after the knockout of Khan. He lost to any good competition. Peter wiped him. Max Holloway wiped him. Volkanovski wiped him. Any good contender is going to beat him. What are you talking about?
Wait. So what did Aldo beat Marlon Vera? He beat Pedro Munoz.
He
beat Marlon Moraes. Not only that, but Aldo also beat Rob Font. So and guess what? He just beat who? He just beat a guy that was called the dark horse of his division. Aldo was not washed when he fought Volk. He was on a 2-fight win streak, and he was how old when he lost to Volk? Aldo was how old when he lost to Volk? He was 32 years old. That's not washed up, especially when he's going to an even harder division.
First of all, let me tell you something that you probably don't understand. Like, age is just a number, and it depends on how long of a career you had before that. He had a crazy run in WC. He was running through everyone. But after that, Conor knocked out.
You could say long. Okay, well, this is how I defeat that argument. Max Holloway was considered washed after the Volk trilogy. They were saying, well, he's been around for a minute. He's still young, but he's been around for a minute. Since then, he's dominated TKZ. He's beat Arnold Allen, and he freaking outclassed Justin Gaethje. So this whole 32 is washed for only Aldo. But how was he washed when he was on a 2-fight win streak, and after he lost to Volk, he went down to bantamweight and freaking mopped the floor with people?
Everyone beats TKZ. Stop glazing that win that Max Holloway overhead like it's a crazy prime TKZ. That's the most absurd line I've ever heard in my life.
No, I'm not acting like Max's TKZ win was amazing. I'm just saying you can't say Aldo was washed when he was only 32 years old.
Bro, yes, he was not. He never touched his prime again after Conor took his chin. You could try to cope with it all you want, but it's a fact. Because every time
just because Conor knocks him out doesn't mean all of a sudden he's not good anymore. How can you explain all the wins that Aldo has after that? Let me explain. Because
the best wins you named after that was Rob Font. That's the most talented win he had.
Rob Font, yeah, but these are bantamweights that are in the top 10. Rob Font, Pedro Munoz, Marlon Moraes, which was a robbery, and Aldo should have won that fight, and Marlon Vera. And Jonathan Martinez. And you have Jeremy Stevens and Renato Moicano. 7 wins.
Oh my God!
After he lost, 7 wins after he got knocked out by Holloway twice. 7 wins. That's pretty good. The only losses that he has after losing to Volkanovski are what? Peter Yan and Merab. That's it.
Bro, yes, good contenders, legit contenders. Do you not understand?
Yeah, and he did well against Yan until the later rounds. But my point is, Aldo was not washed.
Him up. What are you talking about? Did you watch the Yan fight? Yan was destroying that man. He almost killed him.
Aldo was competitive with Yan, and then after that went on a 3-fight win streak. He went on a 3-fight win streak after the Yan fight.
That fight. Yan was killing him. I was like,
I've watched that fight multiple times. It's one of my favorite fights of all time.
I couldn't watch the fight. I was looking at him get beat. I was like, I can't watch Aldo get destroyed like this.
No, Aldo was getting whooped in the 5th. It was a bad stoppage, and he got whooped in the later rounds.
He gave up. He fell on his knees. That boy was done for.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that he went on a 3-fight win streak after that. Like, Aldo was legitimately doing well. He just looked amazing against Jonathan Martinez. He ain't even washed.
Yes, he could beat the gatekeeper.
Everyone talks about the 35 curse. Oh, well, no one's ever been able to win a title win at the age of 35 and whatnot. Jose Aldo lost all those fights to Volk, Max, and Conor in his late 20s and early 30s when it's not permissible to lose. You should not be that's not an excusable loss. You can't just say, well, he's washed the second he gets knocked out by Conor. That takes away from Max Holloway, takes away from Volk.
Yes, like I said.
And guess what? You're going to say, hold on, you can't say he's washed. Washed means he's done, he's toast.
He was out of his prime after getting knocked out by Conor. That's the words I said.
Okay, but well, even if you think he's out of his prime, it's still a good version of Aldo. You can't just sit here and tell me Aldo was trash, he wasn't even good. Like, Aldo still is good. Aldo is still capable of beating top 10 bantamweights.
I agree. Against mid-fighters, of course. Of course he's going to be
mid-fighters, these are ranked fighters. Bro, Jonathan Martinez is not a mid-fighter. He's not amazing. He's not like top 5 material, but he's not a mid-fighter. And neither was Pedro Munoz at the time. And Rob Font was probably at his peak.
Anthony Smith is ranked. Cheeto Vera is ranked. One of the most.
Yeah, but that's light heavyweight. That's light heavyweight.
Cheeto Vera is one of the most overrated fighters. He's ranked. Yair, one of the most.
Cheeto Vera still beats more than 80% of bantamweights.
Yeah, you lost your mind. He doesn't beat any decent.
Cheeto Vera doesn't beat any top 5 guys. He still beats 80% of bantamweights. You can't say a mid bantamweight is someone that's fighting on like the freaking Apex cards.
No, that's
like
that's
that's like 2 and 2.
That's what you think. I think Cheeto Vera is one of the most overrated fighters.
So then, according to you, everyone that's not a top 10 fighter is mid in the bantamweight division.
Lucas, don't talk about according to me, because every single point you said has been according to Lucas. So I don't care what you say according to me. What are you talking about? Everything you say is according to you, because you don't go off anything.
Okay. But my point is, when it comes to title wins, beating Jose Aldo, who is still doing well because those wins have aged well for Volkanovski, outclassing Aldo. He didn't just KO him. He didn't just knock him out. He outstruck him. That is not a title win. Yet that win, because it's against an all-time great, where it doesn't age poorly because Aldo doesn't go on to get schooled over and over and over again. Aldo goes on to win a bunch of times. He loses twice. He wins 4 or 5 times. That win ages well, and it's not a title win. And it can be as good as a title win. Yes, it can.
Aging well is very subjective.
Let me ask you a question. What's better? Alexander Volkanovski beating Jose Aldo or John Jones beating Anthony Smith for a belt? What is a better win? Take away, just in and of itself, obviously beating Jose Aldo is better. He's a top 10 all-time fighter.
Brother,
Anthony Smith's Anthony Smith.
Brother,
just because it's for a belt doesn't mean it's automatically better.
What are these cherry-picking statements? Of course, beating Anthony Smith doesn't do jack for Jones. You're cherry-picking specific fights.
No. But I'm just proving the point that just because it's for a title doesn't mean it's necessarily better than a non-title win. Which goes to show that Alex Pereira beating Jan Blachowicz is as good as a title win. Like it's not. You can't count it as a title win. But on the all-time list, all that matters is, hold on. When it comes to the GOAT ranking, all that matters is what is the resume of the guy that they're beating. Jan Blachowicz has a great resume. Therefore, if you beat him and he's not washed, it is an amazing win.
Okay, in that case, I think Islam Makhachev's higher than Volkanovski in the GOAT list. I'm just going off what you said.
Wait, what did you say?
I think Islam Makhachev's greater than Volkanovski.
I disagree, but I do believe that Islam Makhachev is skyrocketing on the GOAT list. I personally think he's top 10.
Wait, why do you disagree?
A lot of people don't.
Why do you disagree?
Dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna cook. Now I'm gonna make you look.
No, hold on. I do. No. Let me just say this. A lot of people give me flack for putting Islam Makhachev in my top 15, and I say that that's delusional. I think Islam Makhachev's like on the all-time list, underrated. I think he's amazing, and I think he will pass Volkanovski. Like I think he will. But the reason why I have him slightly underneath Volk is because Islam Makhachev, the first win over Volk is like a great win. It's by decision. He's beating he beat the pound for pound number 1 by decision, which to me is even better than knocking him out because that means he's proving that he's better over the course of 5 rounds.
Yeah, you embarrassed him 4-1.
Yeah. And then in the rematch, Volkanovski, 35 years old, injured, fat off of the couch. Hold on. So therefore, Volkanovski lost when it was statistically permissible to lose.
You're glazing.
And guess what? That was Volkanovski's second loss. That loss, I can look past it because guess what? No 35-year-old in UFC history has ever won a title in the weight classes 155 or below.
Now you want to use
ever.
Facts. That's the first fact you said this whole debate.
Yeah. So my point is, statistically,
let me just
it's okay. Statistically, it's not horrible for him to lose, and it was short notice, and he was fat, and he was off of an injury.
He was fat. Okay, I just love.
So hold on. Islam Makhachev beating Volk the first time, it's amazing.
No, but let me talk about the second fight. Let me talk about why it was so great the second fight.
But guess what Volk did? Volk beat Holloway 3 times and Aldo. Yeah, no other guy can say that.
Lucas, I knew what you're gonna say because that's Volkanovski's Glazer's favorite argument. He beat one guy, but he did it 3 times, so it must make it a win great. It doesn't mean shit. Yes, Max Holloway's on his resume. He argued lost the second fight. Who cares? The only fight that really matters in that fight was the third fight because that's the only fight where he significantly whooped him from start to finish. Every other
Volkanovski 4-1 to Max Holloway in the first fight.
No, it was 3-2, but you could cope without. You're Lucas.
Okay, I'll cope, but you say it's 3-2. Therefore, Volkanovski still beat Max.
Yeah,
Max Holloway is one of the best fighters to ever live.
The fight that. No, he's not the best boxer. Islam's a better boxer than both.
No, I'm not saying best boxer. I'm saying Max is literally like one of the best fighters ever. That's a sick win for Volkanovski.
Yeah, it's a great win. And guess what? Islam did to the guy that Max couldn't beat 3 times. The first time beat him in a short notice fight that you're gonna say, he was the most confident he's ever been in his takedown defense in his entire career. He went in there against Islam the first time and stuffed all these takedowns. I'm Volkanovski. I'm a national wrestler, the champion. I'm the GOAT. No one can take me down. He gets outstruck in the first into a head kick and slept, and he never been the same. I mean,
I think that Makhachev is close. I just think that when you tally up all the wins,
I'm not even done though.
Okay.
Charles Oliveira, he had the longest active win streak at lightweight. He was running through everyone. Look, he beat Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Michael Chandler. Charles is impossible. He gets dropped on the feet for a dangerous striker who TKO'd Michael Chandler, all this stuff.
You're preaching to the choir. I agree. I agree that win is good.
He submitted.
I agree that win is amazing. No, I think that they're close. I think that they're close.
No, they're not close. I'm gonna keep telling why they're better. I'm telling you why he's better. Then he went against Dustin Poirier, the best boxer in the UFC, and he pieced him up on the feet. They said if Islam struggles to take him down against Dustin, it's over. It's gonna be it's not. He's gonna stand there. He's gonna beat the crap out of him standing. He's the best striker in UFC history, arguably in lightweight division. And then he's gonna out wrestle him and out grapple him. Islam is better than Volkanovski all time. Is not even remotely close. Volk is nothing. Volk can't even kiss his feet. That's the most crazy comparison ever. Who's Volk to Volkanovski? Who's Volk to Islam Makhachev? It's not comparable. That's his son, bro. Literally.
No, okay, but hold on. I understand what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I think that they're close. Like, I don't think that they're that far off. The only reason I say that Volk is still slightly ahead is because, it's because when you add them all up, Volk's one bad loss, like one really bad loss, is to Makhachev the first time.
Ilya.
The second loss to Makhachev, I still rate Makhachev's win over Volk because he outstruck him and he shut him down on the feet.
Yeah,
and it wasn't like Volk gassed out. But the point is, I don't think it was like, listen, Volk just the chances of him winning that night were so slim, and he's 35, statistically permissible to lose. Hold on, it's still a loss. Like I still count it as a loss for Volk, of course.
Bro, you don't.
But the Topuria fight, the Topuria fight, statistically permissible to lose because he's 35, coming off of a KO loss. That was the first loss Volkanovski's ever had in his division. It just so happened that Volkanovski is the only fighter to have two of the most statistically permissible moments where he could have lost and it wouldn't have hurt his resume that much.
Yo, listen, first of all, I don't like the way you said I count that is the second Islam win, bro. I don't care what you count, bro. Facts is what happened.
No, of course.
Out of him. Like you can cope with that any way you want. I'm just saying, like it's funny though.
No, I have Makhachev. I have Makhachev in my top 10. He's probably close to the top 5. I just don't know if I'm ready to say that he's if I'll tell you this. If Makhachev beats Arman, then I'll put him over Volk. If Makhachev beats Arman, I'll put him over Volk.
No, put him over him right now. And why is DC not over Volk? Why is it double champion one?
Oh my God. Okay, we can't do this. We can't do this.
Fair enough.
We can't do this.
Fair
you
enough.
can't do the DC.
I was gonna cook you because double champion.
No. Volkanovski's wins over Max Holloway 3 times and Jose Aldo.
Stop saying that. That's never gonna
DC. Wait, hold on. Let me just cook you on this. Was DC the best fighter at light heavyweight? Like John undisputed, was he the best fighter at light heavyweight? Never.
The GOAT was.
John Jones was always the best fighter.
That's the GOAT though.
Yeah, I know. Guess what? Volkanovski in a division where Max Holloway was there. If Volkanovski doesn't exist, Max Holloway is the best featherweight champion in UFC history. No one would ever beat him at featherweight. He's literally Volkanovski outstruck. Hold on, Colby Covington.
You can say that about Colby Covington if Usman didn't exist at welterweight. Of course you can. What do you mean?
Colby Covington's dog shit compared to Max Holloway.
Yo, my point is, I can look at a lot of divisions and say, if this guy didn't exist, then this guy's the next up. I can do that with a lot of people.
Okay, no, I get what you're saying. My point is, DC can't even have the claim of being the best fighter of his era. He can't.
But you know what he has to claim to?
That's already an issue. That's already an issue.
But listen,
Daniel Cormier's best win is over who? Stipe? He lost to him twice. Daniel Cormier's second best win is to Gustafsson. Close fight. Rumble Johnson's a great win. Guess what? Okay. Volkanovski beat Jose Aldo. Okay. You think the Gustafsson fight is great? It was an extremely close fight. I'll give you 2 fights where Volkanovski styled on Max Holloway, and I'll give you the second fight where Volkanovski was down 2 rounds. Not only down 2 rounds.
Give it to me.
That's like being down 3 games in a freaking 7-game series. He was down 2 rounds to Max in a fight against a guy who has a granite chin you can't finish, unstoppable cardio, best volume puncher in UFC history, and he gets it done down 2 rounds in a title fight where everything's going against him. Melatonin gate. Volkanovski shits on DC's resume.
You know what trumps that though? Running through the whole lightweight division outside of John Jones, who's number 1 on the GOAT list, and going up and beating the consensus heavyweight GOAT, Stipe Miocic, the greatest heavyweight of all time, putting him to sleep, and then going after that, having a title defense out of 2 weight classes. One of 2 men's divisions.
And then he lost to him twice.
DC.
And then he lost to him twice.
It doesn't matter. DC and Henry Cejudo are the only ones to defend both belts in 2 weight classes. So he made
Henry Cejudo's Henry Cejudo's resume ain't shit compared to Volkanovski.
He went up and tried to beat the arguable, not the GOAT. He's not the GOAT because Khabib exists, but he went up and arguably tried to beat in the GOAT lightweight champion. What happened? He got embarrassed twice.
DC lost to old Stipe, but he was old too. Fair enough. Volkanovski's loss was to Khabib 3.0, a guy that can strike. Okay, that's not even that bad, and he had a close fight with him the first time.
Yeah, and he went up 3.0. GOAT. That's not that bad either.
Yeah, he fought a heavyweight, a dog shit division.
So Stipe's dog shit now?
No, Stipe's not dog shit, but it's a different level of thing. It's easier to beat Stipe Miocic when you eye poke him than it is to beat Khabib 3.0.
Look at that! I love you. Always have a cope ready. I got to give you that. You know how to.
No, I stuck in a cope there, but I'm just saying, DC will never have a resume as clean as Volk. DC
is way better. You're right.
No. DC wasn't even undefeated in his own division until he was an old head. He lost to John Jones.
Outside of John Jones, he was undefeated at light heavyweight. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but he lost to Jones, and the guys that he beat at light heavyweight aren't as good as the guys Volkanovski beat. DC wasn't as dominant. DC wasn't as dominant. He's having a close fight with Alexander Gustafsson. Volkanovski dominated everyone in the featherweight division. Everyone in the featherweight division he dominated.
It's not the flex you think it is. Losing to John Jones.
Dominating Volkanovski ain't the same as dominating Jose Aldo and Max Holloway. It'll never be.
embarrassed Rumble Johnson, choked him out in 2 seconds.
Rumble Johnson is not on the same level as Max Holloway.
Look at you, you're coping. Listen, my thing. You're trying to say that, oh, he lost to the greatest of all time. He's bad. No, he's not. He lost to the greatest of all time. Went to heavyweight, lost to the greatest heavyweight of all time too. After knocking him out and being a double champion, defending both belts, he's way better than Volk. The fact that we're having this conversation.
Volk isn't losing till it's statistically permissible to lose.
Yeah, and I can say the same about DC losing to Stipe because he's 49 years old or something. What are you talking about? Exactly.
No, but Volk cannot. But DC had a much easier path to a second belt.
He didn't, though.
He did because the only reason he was able to win the title at light heavyweight to begin with is because Jones wasn't around.
Jones couldn't be there.
Jones wasn't around. That was the only reason.
Yeah, he's the greatest.
Yeah. Volk wasn't having a razor close decision against some contender like DC had with Gustafsson. Volk was dominating Max Holloway. Former champion. Volk dominated Jose Aldo. Former champion. Different sort of fighters. Different sort of performances. Totally different. Volk lost to Khabib 3.0 that can strike.
I agree. DC's way better than him.
And DC lost to old dog Stipe Miocic.
He was older.
Yeah, old dog Stipe.
He's
not the same. But anyway, hold on. I think we're gonna wrap it up because we've been debating for a while. But yeah, man, I think that is gonna be it for the debate. People have been asking me to debate this guy, Kenny Okoye. He has a YouTube channel as well. If you guys want to check him out. I mean, I'll basically let you plug the channel real quick, just because you've already been up here, so you can plug it real quick, and then we're just gonna get back to the live stream.
Fair enough, brother. Yeah, Kenny Okoye MMA. So if you want to, you don't have to. Shout out Lucas Tracy for taking the debate. Lucas has some funny takes. I like Lucas. He's actually one of the few MMA creators who's consistent. I like his content. He has some crazy takes, but I mess with Lucas. He's cool. He's a cool dude for sure.
All right, man.
Appreciate that, bro. Peace.
All right, so we just debated him. It wasn't the plan. I mean, I was gonna debate him down the line, but the chat wanted me to debate him, so we had the debate. We will not watch. Okay, we had the debate. That was a spontaneous debate, but we got it done. I think I may have cooked him. I'll say this. Volkanovski's clear of DC. Volkanovski's so far clear of DC, but DC's a weird one. Because when you start saying, and I'll let you guys in on my arguments. We know Volkanovski's clear of DC, but DC's a weird one because when you start saying Volkanovski lost when it was statistically permissible to lose, they can always come back at you. Well, DC lost when he was an old head too. And it's like, bro, because I know that Volk is way clear of him, but I got to come up with like a really good recipe to cook people on that one. 54